Do you believe in spirits or an invisible supernatural world? Not all of us believe in it because it is invisible. But what if a crime is exposed by those invisible things? Let's join the Untold Judgement to learn more about the case we want to mention today. The Hello Kitty case, one of the 10 great mysteries of Hong Kong. For many people, Hong Kong is still considered a safe city with tight security and a large educated population. Therefore, murder and robbery cases rarely occur in this city. However, in 1999, the kidnapping, torture, and brutal murder of a 23-year-old girl shocked the entire Hong Kong Special Administrative Region, China. It all started in May 1999, when a 14-year-old girl named Ah Fong went to Hong Kong social workers to share her insomnia for days. Every time she closed her eyes, she had nightmares and saw a woman being beaten and disfigured. At first, the social workers thought she was just having a normal sleep disorder or a teenage prank. However, it was only when Ah Fong confided that she knew the ghost, a woman involved in a murder, that the police began to pay attention, and from here the horrifying truth was revealed and the unfortunate victim was Fan Man Yi. Fan Man Yi's life was not good even before she met her most terrified misfortune. After being abandoned by her family at a very young age, she was adopted by a woman. Growing up without the love of her biological parents, Fan became spoiled and quickly fell into the mud of drug addiction since she was a teenager. As she grew older, Fan refused to work hard and instead embarked on the path of prostitution. In 1996, she got married and had a handsome son, but the marriage quickly ended when her drug-addicted husband abused her. In early 1997, Fan Man Yi met Chan Man Lok, 34 years old, a notorious gangster in society. Chan lived in a 5-bedroom apartment in a famous shopping district of Hong Kong. The apartment was decorated according to his childhood dream, with a series of Hello Kitty-themed home furnishings, including bed sheets, curtains, and a large collection of Hello Kitty stuffed dolls. Besides, it was filled with things that made people forget the outside world: pornography, drugs. The two met at a nightclub. One was a drug addict, the other was a drug dealer. Chan Man Lok became a regular customer of Fan, but he often had violent tendencies when using crystal meth. Having been repeatedly beaten during sex with Chan when he was high on drugs, Fan did not want to see Chan Man Lok again. However, because she had no money to buy drugs, Fan stole Chan Man Lok's wallet containing 4,000 Hong Kong dollars. Knowing that she was wrong, Fan returned the money and 10,000 Hong Kong dollars in interest as an apology. However, because of her bottomless greed, Chan Man Lok continued to threaten and demand another 16,000 Hong Kong dollars. She did not know that she would have to pay for that money by her own life. Chan, along with the second defendant Liang Shengzhu and the third defendant Liang Weilun, hatched a plan to have her work as a prostitute until she paid back the money, including interest. However, they quickly realized that prostitution alone was not enough to pay off the huge debt. So on the 17th of March 1999, Liang Shengzhu and Liang Weilun, following Chen Wenyue's instructions, kidnapped the victim to 31th Granville Road, Tsim Sha Tsui, Hong Kong. The young girl's month of hell began here. In the room, Liang Weilun questioned why Fan didn't return the money and why she didn't call back, and they took turns raping her. The three defendants covered the apartment's glass door with wooden boards so that no one could know what crimes they were committing there. Over the course of several days, the torture took on its most horrific form. They poured chili oil into the victim's mouth and smeared it on her wounds. They forced her to swallow their feces and drink their urine. One day, the defendants dropped a melted plastic straw on her and ordered her to laugh. The victim had several seizures after that. The perpetrators then tied her hands with electrical cords for hours, then beat her with steel pipes. Several weeks later, Fan finally could not resist any longer, and she fell into a coma. While she was in a coma, the defendants burned her legs with a lighter and asked her to move her body. Forensic reports showed that Fan had then ingested methamphetamine, a powerful central nervous system stimulant primarily used as a recreational drug to induce euphoria by altering the user's perception, sensations, and emotions. During the torture, 14-year-old Ah Fong, who was mentioned at the beginning of the video, also participated because she was Chan Man-lok's girlfriend. Ah Fong once witnessed Fan being kicked in the head 50 times and also participated in torturing Fan. When they got tired of torturing Fan, the 3 kidnappers left her in the kitchen and sat playing video games in the outer room. If they lost, in the bad mood, the beasts started beating Fan to relieve their frustration. Every time we were high on drugs, we would take Fan out to beat her. It was boring there. There was nothing to do. So we beat her when she was sad. When she was happy, we beat her. We considered it fun and forced Fan to smile every time she received a blow. If she cried, the stings on her body or the blows would get stronger, Ah Fong told the police. It is estimated that Fan Man-yi died in mid-April 1999. When she died, her face was swollen, her gums were bleeding profusely, and her body was covered in blisters, wounds, and pus. When the defendants discovered that Fan Man-yi was dead, they decided to dispose of her body. They first moved the body into the bathtub to dismember it, cut open the bones, took out the intestines and put them in plastic bags, and cooked the other parts with hot water in the bathroom. Then they put all the dismembered parts into several plastic bags and dumped them at the garbage station. Chan also used a kerosene stove and a pot to cook Fan's head in the room. In a hurry, they threw away her internal organs in the house and dropped them on the roof of the building. They cut up a Hello Kitty mermaid doll and used some cotton to stuff the cooked skull into it. While pulling out the half-melted hair, Chan said,
"Oh, please don't be so upset. I'll help you look good. Don't move, I'll help you dress."
Chan then ordered the other defendants to feed the cooked meat to dogs, but it is unclear whether the order was carried out. It is unimaginable that humans could cross the limits of brutality in such a way. Back in May 1999, when the police followed Ah Fong, they went to the apartment complex on Granville Road, Tsim Sha Tsui, Hong Kong. When they arrived, Ah Fong was so scared that she could only sit on the first floor. The police searched the entire apartment complex and stopped at an apartment on the 3rd floor. The neighbors said they had smelled a foul odor, but thought it was garbage and did not report it to the police. Before them was a messy room, filled with the stench of corpses. Upon closer inspection, they were shocked to discover dismembered human body parts hidden in the refrigerator, a human head hidden in a stuffed Hello Kitty doll. Even more horrifying was a boiling pot of corpses in the main kitchen. The police immediately opened an investigation and named the case the Hello Kitty murder case. The case was exposed, and the perpetrator was immediately arrested by the police. Less than 24 hours after Ah Fong entered the police station, Man-lok was arrested while enjoying dim sum at a roadside restaurant just blocks from the murder scene in Tsim Sha Tsui. Liang Shengzhu and Liang Weilun were also arrested shortly thereafter. When questioned, the 3 suspects all said that they were only running an illegal brothel and that Man-yi volunteered to participate. All 3 said that Man-yi was a drug addict who died of a drug overdose, and that they decided to make her disappear because they feared trouble with the law. Ah Fang herself, wanting leniency, told the whole truth. Many people also came forward to testify on behalf of the victim, including Wu Ji Yuan, a friend of Fan Man-yi, who said that after March 13, 1999, she had not been seen again. Many people living near apartment number 31 also said that they occasionally heard Fan's screams coming from there. Although the victim was brutally murdered, the 3 torturers were only convicted of manslaughter and illegal detention, because the remaining pieces of Fan Man-yi's body were not enough for a medical examination to determine the cause of death. Because there was not enough evidence to conclude that these people intentionally killed Fan Man-yi, they were only considered to have caused the violent acts that led to her death. In the end, the 3 people, including Chan Man-lok, Liang Shengzhu, and Liang Weilun, were only convicted of manslaughter and received the maximum sentence of only 20 years in prison. As for Ah Fong, because he confessed honestly, he was not prosecuted. The horrifying details attracted attention throughout Hong Kong and Asia. More than 6 million Hong Kong people at that time protested and were outraged by the sentence given to the 3 murderers. Sandy Chan, a saleswoman in Hong Kong's upscale downtown who's been following the case since the beginning, said, "These kinds of brutal murders can happen anywhere, but not in Hong Kong. Because the murder rate here is one of the lowest in the world. I'm still shocked and can't believe what's happening. But why did those damn people only get 20 years in prison? It's so unfair to what the victims have to endure." Speaking about this case, many prosecutors at that time said, "In recent years, Hong Kong has never had such a cruel, depraved, heartless, and violent case. Living together in that apartment, getting high on drugs every day, these people began to believe that their world was normal. Torture became a game, a pleasure that satisfied them every day. The most unfortunate and pitiful were still the victims." Although nearly 20 years have passed, Hong Kong public opinion has never stopped being indignant when mentioning this century's case. Particularly apartment number 31, where Fan was tortured, has been abandoned for many years. No one wants to rent or even live in the same building as the room that contained such a crime. After several unsuccessful attempts to sell the building, plus the haunting rumors surrounding Fan's death, the investor ordered the demolition of the building in 2012. This horrific case also inspired the later film, There's a Secret in My Soup. What about the dreams and spiritual signs that we mentioned at the beginning? In the end, was it really Fan's ghost coming to Ah Fong to claim her life? Or was it Ah Fong's own remorse and guilt that she imagined? So, even though the legal verdict has not been executed, the court of conscience of a human being has already made its own verdict. If you are still watching this video, the Untold Judgment hopes that the time you spent was really worth it. And if you liked this video, don't hesitate to give us a like. Thanks for supporting the Untold Judgment. Let's subscribe to our channel to get notifications for upcoming featured videos.